Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of Sports Talk from the Heart with Nicky Steez here on YouTube. And today, folks, we have Philadelphia Eagles versus New England Patriots recap, Eagles Vikings preview, and going to recap week one a little bit. So I'm going to dedicate the most time to my team, the Eagles. So let's do a run through of week one first. Let's go through the week one matchups. All right, we started off on Thursday night. Detroit Lions, Kansas City Chiefs. With the Lions pulling off the upset 21-20, spoiling Kansas City's Super Bowl celebration ceremony in front of their home crowd, a full capacity home crowd, because the previous time in 2020, they didn't have a full audience there. The Detroit Lions did what they needed to do in that game. Get Jared Goff, decent numbers. The receivers were solid. And you saw Kansas City there in that game. You're missing one of their best defensive tackles, missing the best weapon, Travis Kelce. And I tweeted about this after the game, how one key piece missing from the offense can be a big difference right there. And I really do think Mahomes not having Kelce to throw the ball to made a difference in that game. And not to take away from the Detroit Lions or not to take away from them, because they earned the victory. They did what they needed to do. They took advantage of their opportunities and won. What I'm saying, though, is it's possible, though, if Kelce was playing, it could have been a different game, though. I mean, now we'll never know for sure, but let that be an important reminder of how a team missing one or two weapons can make a big difference. Now, that's what's got me a little bit concerned about the Eagles going into week two, which I'll get to that later. But let that be a reminder. Yes, all it takes is one or two key injuries can completely change the look of a team. Or one or two additions can completely change the look of a team. And that was part of it with Kansas City. But for Detroit Lions, hey, they did what they need to do. And maybe this could be a confidence builder for them going forward. Maybe this is what they need going forward, could help get their confidence up. And they could rattle off some wins. And maybe possibly finally have a home playoff game for the first time in the 21st century. I mean, maybe that's possible right there. But so, yeah, the Lions did what they need to do. Yeah, the Falcons beat the Panthers. I mean, Bryce Young, he did get to throw his first career touchdown, but he also struggled a bit. But, hey, to be fair, he is a rookie. I'm not going to be too hard on him. But, hey, the Falcons, hey, they did what they needed to do. Jesse Bates looked pretty good there in the secondary. He certainly looks like an upgrade for them. And hope for the Falcons, they're hoping that he is the upgrade they need. But, yeah, Falcons took care of business, did what they needed to, got their win. They scored 24-10. You also had the Cleveland Browns beat the Cincinnati Bengals 24-3. And that Browns defense was balling. They were balling all game. And it was so embarrassing. The Bengals benched Burrow in the fourth quarter. They benched him in the fourth quarter. And to be fair, though, it's with the Browns offense, Nick Chubb was the one doing most of the work. He was the one that had over 100 yards. He was bulldozing through the Bengals, whereas Deshaun Watson, he didn't look that good. There was one ugly interception where he basically threw the ball right to the guy wearing a Bengals jersey. It's like, what happened there? Did Deshaun Roethlisberger, what did he do? Did he think that the Browns were wearing white? Like, what type of interception was that? If you watch the footage of Deshaun's interception, you would clearly see it was an awful pass, but nevertheless, the Browns overcame that. And they still got the win, parts due to an awesome defense and Nick Chubb doing his thing. You had the Jaguars beat the Colts. You had Anthony Richardson had moments in that game, though, for Indianapolis. He showed some flashes that he gave at least a little bit of flash of hope there, but, he's still a rookie, and it was a tighter game than expected. But, hey, Jacksonville won, and to be fair, it's the first week of the season. Who knows? Maybe by the end of the season, Indianapolis will build some momentum. Maybe they could sneak in as a wild card, or maybe build hope for the future next year and rattle off 7 or 8 wins by the end of the season. Who knows? But as of right now, Jacksonville won as expected. But, hey, credit to Indianapolis for at least going out there, putting up a fight, making a game out of it. But at the end of the day, hey, the Jaguars did what they needed to do. Shout out to them. Shout out to Dougie P for leading that Jaguars in a turnaround, going much better than Urban Meyer could have ever dreamed of doing with that team. But, hey, Jaguars are 1-0 on top of their division for now. And the Vikings actually lost to the Bucs. I mean, dude, we were all picking the Vikings to win. I mean, pretty much 95% of us picked them, but the Bucks took care of them 20-17. And Kirk Cousins, yeah, he stat padded, but if you look at his overalls in that game, he did not look good at all. Cousins did not look good. He had 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles, and a pick. And just not a good performance at all whatsoever. And yeah, I mean, you also had, Justin Jefferson, he did everything he could. He tried to ball. He even recorded a hit on an interception too, but the Vikings fell flat. Anyway, 3 turnovers by Cousin. You had a false start. What did you have? It was an offside neutral. No, it was neutral zone infraction that gave the Bucks a first down on a scoring drive on a field goal attempt. It was sloppy play by the Vikings, and Tampa Bay won. I'll get more into the Vikings once I preview the Eagles-Vikings Week 2 matchup. But then you had the 49ers with a healthy Brock Purdy. They showed no signs of letting up whatsoever. It's the first 200 yards of the game, 199 yards for the Niners, 1 yard for the Steelers. Niners show no mercy whatsoever. But hey, and you had Ayuk. He had a good game at receiver for the Niners. He was balling out. And Niners showed something. Now with Brock Purdy, it's an interesting question of, and we're going to see, debate's going to come up by some people. Is it Brock Purdy that good, or is it the talent around him? So that's going to be a bit of a debate, though, now with them. But, hey, Brock Purdy was good enough to lead them. And the Niners, hey, they're a good team, and they're going to be a team to watch for in the NFC. So a statement win there by the Niners. And then you had the Commanders beat the Cardinals 20-16. Competitive game. It's not much really to say. And you had the Ravens beat the Texans 25-9, but they lost TK Dobbins. Terrible luck there for the Ravens, losing key injury this early in the season. But the Ravens got off to a 1-0 start. They're just going to have to hope they can stay healthy most of the way. But sorry, Ravens fans, confidence isn't up in that regard. Then you had the Saints beat the Titans 16-15. Tannehill looked awful in that game. I don't see the Titans doing much anything. Vrabel's definitely on the hot seat. You had the Dolphins beat the Chargers in a shootout 36-34. Tua looked actually pretty good. Let's face it, Tua is a good quarterback. Let's face it. The thing is, though, biggest thing is he struggles to stay healthy. But in this matchup, he had 3 TDs, 8 for 14 on his 14 passes with 15-plus air yards. And he had 5 passes going to Tyreek Hill. Hill had a monster game, 11 catches, 215 yards. Nice performance there by the Dolphins. And for the Chargers, offensively, it was a good performance, but their defense is trash. It is. And for a team that has a head coach, a supposed defensive-minded coach, he's trash. He is. Brandon Staley, you're supposed to be a defensive-minded coach, but this is the crap you put out there. And their last 3 games, the Chargers being the Week 18 matchup against the Broncos, the wild card game against the Jaguars, and the Week 1 game against the Dolphins, they scored over 90 points combined in all 3 games and lost all 3. Mainly because their defense is crap, and that coach does not know how to prepare a defensive game plan properly. Let's face it, Brandon Staley, he doesn't know what he's doing as a head coach, and he's not a defensive mastermind. Let's just be real. He's going to stand in the way of all that good talent there, and he's going to waste a lot of good talent there, just like the Chargers have typically done through their franchise's history. Not to take away from the Dolphins, because they did what they needed to do. Tua was great. Hill was great. Good performance by the Dolphins. You just hope they can stay healthy and they don't collapse. And then you had my team, the Eagles, beating the Patriots. I'll dedicate some more time to talk about that. You had the Rams beat the Seahawks 30-13. That was a surprise. I don't think anyone saw that coming. But hey, shout out to the Rams. They took care of business. They did what they needed to do, and they got the W. But hey, congrats to the Rams, man. But we'll see what they do from there. You have the Packers beating the Bears. Jordan Love had a nice performance right there. So many people thought this was going to finally be the time the Bears did something. But wrong. Now, the Packers defense some of their players look pretty good in this game, but this was against the Bears. I'll still have to wait and see what the Packers defense does going forward. My thing is, okay, let's see what they do. When they play tougher opposition, are they still going to play good then, or are they going to Walker. That's my thing right there. I mean, but hey, shout out to the Packers. Shout out to Jordan Love. They did what they needed to do. But I'll be looking to see what Jordan Love does here. And I even had my pick'ems last week. I even said I see Jordan Love as a potential guy that could have a breakout season this year. And so far, he did that. You had the Raiders beat the Broncos 17-16. Not much to say. Just another typical Broncos-Raiders game. Cowboys destroyed the Giants. I mean, credit to the Cowboys. I mean, they did have a good game right there. I mean, hey, I've said it before. The Cowboys are a good regular season team. They are. They'll play good during the regular season, which is expected. So we expect this in the Cowboys. I mean, they did good here. But I still got to wait and see what they do come playoff time later in the season. Because this just, to me, it's all too familiar. So, and then we've seen the past couple of years during the Dak era, Cowboys have had some good regular season games where they dominated. Remember last year against the Vikings, they dominated. Remember week 3 against the Eagles 2021, they dominated. So they've had some dominating regular season performances. So I'm not really surprised that they had a good performance. I'm a bit surprised they dominated the Giants and shut them out 40-0. But I'm not surprised the Cowboys had a good regular season performance. But I'm still going to have to wait and see what they do as the season goes along, especially come playoff time. But for now, though, hey, good, strong performance by the Cowboys to let it be known that, hey, they're going to be one of the top NFC teams during the regular season. And the Giants, man, they better get their wake-up call and get it together. And for the game, the Buffalo Bills, New York Jets game, wow, talk about a shocker. First, Aaron Rodgers goes down, torn Achilles, out for the season. 75 seconds. And that could sadly be the last play of his career. I mean, he's going to be 40 by the time the year's over, the calendar year, and the NFL season. And he's coming off a torn Achilles. He's going to come off a torn Achilles. Is he even going to come back and play? And this could very well be it for Rodgers. So that may have been, sadly, his last snap. But, man, talk about a bad break for the Jets. This is now the third time in the past 30 years that they went into a season with high hopes, and their starting quarterback went down early with a serious injury. Happened 99 with Vinny Testaverde. Happened 2003 with Chad Pennington. Now 2023 with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, talk about bad luck there, but the Jets did have good luck against the Bills. I mean, Buffalo's performance was, it was terrible. I mean, Josh Allen throwing 3 picks. I mean, I know Josh Allen has his picks, but last night was not one of his good games. I mean, he did help get him in field goal territory to tie the game, but come overtime, they went 3 and out, and you had that kick return right there. I mean, you had an awesome kick return right there. I mean, hey, you had that welcome to the NFL moment right there, the walk-off punt return for a touchdown to win the game for the Jets. But, hey, congrats to the Jets, man. Forget what was his name again. It was Xavier Gipson. Xavier Gipson, welcome to the NFL. I mean, give him props on that right there. And congrats to the Jets, though. They did what they needed to do. And you had an amazing catch by Garrett Wilson. I mean, I'm glad I caught the finish of this game because it was a nice finish. I mean, awesome catch by Garrett Wilson. Some people are already dubbing it catch of the year. Now, it is a bit premature to say that because it's only the first week. However, catch of the week? Oh, absolutely catch of the week. 100% catch of the week. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, Garrett Wilson, you get the nod from me for catch of the week, for sure. Catch of the season, we'll see at the end of the season. Could it still be the catch of the season? Absolutely, but we still got to wait till the season's over before we officially crown it the catch of this year. But yeah, that was an awesome catch to help tie the game. And so congrats to the Jets. They still overcame no Rodgers. They got help from Josh Allen's mistakes, but hey, it is what it is. But now, moving on. Let's talk about the main thing I came here to talk about. I came here to talk about the Eagles. Let's talk some Eagles football. So, like I said, the Eagles did beat the Patriots 25-20. I did a short on Sunday night, and I did just briefly refer to the score when running down the games. But now it's time to get into it. So, the Philadelphia Eagles, hey, let's be honest. It was an ugly game. It was an ugly win. It wasn't pretty, but hey, we got the W. And I did predict we'd win 28-20. Now, it was off by 3 points the Eagles' favor. It was 25-20 final. But hey, as expected, it was a close game. Patriots, I said the Patriots I thought were better than a lot of people wanted to give them credit for. But hey, and they did. They did put up a good fight. I mean, credit to the Patriots defense. They did what they needed to do to blitz Jalen Hurts, and they made it tough on him. They did. I mean, the Patriots did play as pretty good defensively. They played as pretty good against Hurts. He wasn't, his passing, he was accurate with both of his passes he got off, but he was off there running around, getting pressured, and they did a pretty decent job against the run. I mean, credit to the Patriots defense. I mean, they put up a good fight. And, hey, the team, they would not quit. They played good. I give them that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, hey, we got the W. I mean, it was a nail biter. Let's face it. I was holding my breath late in the game. I remember when Hurts fumbled, I was thinking, you motherfuckers just cost us the game. I was like, that was my reaction right there. It's like, Jalen Hurts, you're my QB, but you might have just cost us. Because I was paranoid when he fumbled. I'm like, here it goes. Here it goes. This is why you can't celebrate early. Right. So I was paranoid after that fumble. And then the Patriots went down the field and scored. I'm like, here we go. See, I told you. No, wait, and then never mind. No, they already scored, but it was close. Then we fumbled. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. But then the defense did what it needed to do. They held us up. They stopped the Patriots on the short field. I'm like, okay, thank you. Then we tried to move the ball. We went for it on fourth down. We got stopped and got a turnover on downs. And then, sure enough, again, still in paranoid mode. I'm like, here it goes. They're going to win on some last-second BS. That's what I was thinking at the time. So I was paranoid watching the finish to that game. I was. But, hey, fortunately, the Eagles came through. They did what they needed to do. And we took care of business. So, hey, Eagles win. Ugly, but I got to take it. I'll take it. But at the same time, I got to be honest. Let's give an honest recap of this. So, as far as giving credit goes where credit's due, got to give credit to Darius Slay. He was doing his thing all game. He was shutting guys down. He had 3 pass deflections. He had the 70-yard pick six, which helped set momentum in our favor in the first quarter. So I got to give Slay credit for shutting us down, doing his thing. Big play Slay. And we're going to need him week 2 against the Vikings, man-to-man against Justin Jefferson. If he can repeat what he did last year on Monday night against Jefferson again, that should help shut him down. I'll get to that more in a few minutes. So shout out to Darius Slay. And Jordan Davis forced the fumble. That helped set up a short field. Helped us go up 16-0. Now, we did have a mixed extra point by Jake Elliott, but to be fair, Jake Elliott made up for it. He nailed all of his field goals, and he nailed a few long ones too. But I got to give credit to that because after that first quarter, when we scored all those points, we didn't have any touchdowns. We didn't see the end zone the rest of the game. And Jake Elliott came through with all of our points in the second half. So I got to give him credit there as well. So Jake Elliott nods to you as well. And just that Eagles defense in general, I got to give credit to because they really helped save the game for us. Sure, they gave up 20 points. However, when it mattered most in the fourth quarter after that fumble by Hurts and that turnover on downs late, they shut down the Patriots twice and stopped them from scoring a go-ahead touchdown. So, and they did stop a 2-point conversion too. So they got to get credit for coming on in the fourth quarter when it mattered most, doing what they needed to do. So that defense, they definitely get a shout out in this one right here. I mean, it wasn't a pretty offensive game, but hey, when the offense doesn't work, you rely on your defense. Defense did what they needed to do. You also had Jalen Carter, 7 pressures. Great performance right there for his first game. Like I said, Darius Slay, awesome performance. Pick 6 and shutting guys down. And just all around pretty good performance. But there was a cost that came with it. You had mainly Nakobe Dean left. And you had James Bradbury. Now, Bradbury's in concussion protocol, which sadly means he's probably going to be out for this game. It hasn't been confirmed yet. I haven't seen it confirmed yet, but I'm sure that means he'll be out for Thursday if he's in concussion protocol. And unfortunately, you have Nakobe Dean left with a calf injury. It's just so unfortunately, we're probably going to be down some guys for game 2 this Thursday night against the Vikings on defense, which is going to hurt us a little bit. Now, we still got Hassan Reddick. We still got Jordan Davis, Brandon Graham. There's Fletcher, those guys will still be there. Darius Slay will still be playing. However, being down a few guys can make a difference, as you saw on Thursday night with Kansas City being down Travis Kelce and being down Jones on defense. You saw how that made a bit of a difference, particularly Mahomes not having Kelce. The point I'm getting at is the Eagles being down a few guys on defense could smell trouble Thursday night. Now, hopefully I'm wrong, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But as far as this game goes, hey, it's an ugly win, but I'll take it. It's a 1-0 start. We beat them. We spoiled the Tom Brady retirement ceremony. So great job there. But now I'm going to move on. I'm going to talk about week 2 against the Vikings while we're at it. So takeaways from week 1. We got to do better offensively, especially our offensive line, because the offensive line, though, the Patriots are a good defense, though, and they did their thing trying to pressure Hurts. They helped keep them in the game, so I got to give them props right there. Now, hopefully, we're just hoping that it was just a matchup that favored New England's guys. We're just hoping that's all it was. It was a good defensive performance by New England, and that our offensive line rebounds week 2 against the suspect Minnesota Vikings. That's what I'm hoping right there. So let's just hope that was just a fluke right there. The offensive line does better in this game Thursday night, because we're going to need it. And we're definitely going to need all the help from our offense in this one, being that we're down some guys on defense. So hopefully the offensive line can turn it around week 2. Sure, we kind of got lucky week 1 there, but you can't count on that type of luck every single week. Eventually, being lucky runs out. So the offensive line's got to do better week 2. So we're just hoping that they do better. The defense, though, you're definitely going to need to rely with Nakobe Dean with a foot injury, Cox ribs, Bradbury concussion protocol. You're going to need Darius Slay to match up man-to-man against Justin Jefferson. We did that last year on the Monday night game, and it worked. Slay shut down Jefferson last year, and if we can do it again, you match up Slay man-to-man against Jefferson, hey, we could probably get a repeat outcome there with him shutting down Justin Jefferson. And as far as the defensive line goes, the defensive line needs to do its thing. They need to get some pressure coming in on Cousins, especially with us being down on the secondary, for you guys. If we can get to Cousins, we can probably force some fumbles, force them to make mistakes, and go in our favor. Because you saw, if you followed or checked out the statistics for their week 1 matchup against Cousins, fumbled twice and he threw a pick. So he's coming off a 3 turnover game. So that against Tampa Bay's defense. And to be fair, they do have a pretty good defense. And even with us down a few guys, we still have talent on our defense, on the defensive line. We still have Hassan Reddick in there. Still got Darius Slay in secondary going to be active, barring any injuries in practice. Please don't let that happen. So we can definitely get some pressure on Cousins, force him to make mistakes there. That's one thing to do right there. And like I said, the offense has to be crisper this time. If the offensive line can do a better job, give Hurts some more protection, hey, maybe he can do better this week. Maybe we can get a few deep passes in there, do better with AJ, Smitty this week. I mean, to be fair, Smitty did score a touchdown in the short field after the fumble by Davis. But yeah, hopefully we can do better week 2 offensively and really get this offense clicking, because I think the Vikings, it's a favorable matchup for this to happen. As long as everything's on point, offensive line does better, maybe we can get the run game going a little better, and we can turn this thing around offensively. And I'm emphasizing that point because, like I said, we're down a few guys defense. So you're hoping the offense comes in here, takes care of business, especially knowing that Vikings defense has its holes. This would be a good matchup to make that happen. And we know, let's face it, Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. I mean, Baker did struggle early on and then came on late when it mattered most, and the Vikings defense folded. Now that same defense has to go against a top-notch offense in the Eagles. Let's see how they do against us Thursday night there. So I'm confident in our offense. And I'm thinking this might be a bit of a high-scoring matchup, especially with us being down a few guys defensively. You can kind of tell. So I'm thinking, wouldn't be surprised if at least we cross the 30-point mark or both teams cross the 30-point mark. But I could see us possibly winning this game maybe by a score of like 30-26 or something. Maybe this could be a high-scoring game. Maybe missing a few guys on defense might allow their offense to shine a little bit. But we'll ultimately have to see what happens, though. But I'm still thinking the Eagles are going to win this one, but we got to make it through this matchup healthy, and hopefully we can get some of our guys we've lost back soon. Like, hopefully we can get Cox back. Hopefully we can get Nakobe Dean back. And hopefully, I mean, I don't think James Bradberry should play this game, especially since he's in concussion protocol on a shortened week. Because remember what happened last year with Miami when Tua came back from concussion protocol in a shortened week. I know we need James Bradberry. He's an asset, but I wouldn't take a chance in this one. Because let's face it, you do have extra rest time after Thursday night. You don't got to play Sunday. So that could give Bradberry some extra time. Maybe be back week 3, maybe worst case scenario week 4. But don't play Bradberry. Even though he is helpful, I don't want him coming back from a concussion that early, especially knowing what happened with Tua last year. Now, I understand defensive back, cornerback, different positions, but we saw the risk of coming back from a concussion too early last year. I don't want to take that chance with Bradberry this time around. So I'll sacrifice him playing this one time just so he doesn't aggravate his concussion worse. So I'll take a, yeah. So I feel like we're going to be down defensively, but hey, we got to get the offense going better this time around. We're not going to get as lucky this time off the defense, I don't think. I mean, then again, you never know. Like I said, maybe, if we force Cousins to make mistakes, we could do something with it. And the Vikings, their run game didn't look that great either. Not having Dalvin Cook so far isn't looking too good. So hopefully we should be able to shut down their run game. I mean, they don't have anything at running back that really scares me or concerns me. So, I mean, this should still be a favorable matchup, but being down a few guys, you just never know. But yeah, I'm thinking the Eagles will get this one. Keys to victory right there. Got to score points offensively. Number 2, got to play Darius Slay man-to-man against Justin Jefferson. Got to play disciplined football. Obviously that's simple. Minimize the stupid mistakes like the penalties, the turnovers, and all that. And that's always going to be a key no matter what. Another one is, hey, we got to get going with the run game too. Got to get DeAndre Swift going a little bit right there. See what he can do in this one. And I think we can have a good game in this one. Obviously, Jalen Hurts, let's get him going with the passing game. We know he has an arm. We know he has weapons. Let's do it. If his offensive line gives him more time this time around, okay, it could be better off. And okay, we got Chris LeClaire, 38-31 Eagles, and that certainly is a possibility. I could certainly see this being a high-scoring matchup. And yet, but hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for leaving your score prediction in the chat, and I appreciate it. So I'm thinking, though, hey, Thursday night, we can still do it. It's going to be a bit of an uphill battle, but I think we can get it done. We'll have to ultimately wait and see what happens there, and I'll be back to talk about that Eagles more next week. And while we're still on the subject of week 2, I'm just going to do a run-through. Before I end it, I'm going to do a run-through of the week 2 matchups right here. So I'm going to, in just a second, I'm going to pull up and share my screen. I'm going to share my picks. So I'm going to share my pick'ems from ESPN in a second, and I'll do the picks along with it. All right, so I'm pulling it up right now. I'm going to share the screen with you guys in a second, and I'll pick along. You guys can follow along with me. So here we go. Going to ESPN. Eagles, Vikings, like I just said, I do think the Eagles will win this one. Vikings looked awful against Tampa, so it should still help us out. Green Bay, Atlanta, I still got to pick the Packers, man. I really do think Jordan Love's going to have a breakout season. I said it last week as a hot take. I'm sticking with it. Bills and Raiders, even despite what happened last night in that ugly performance, I mean, let's face it, the Jets, even without Rodgers, they do have talent there. They do have a solid defense. They still have Garrett Wilson. You also, not to mention, to be fair, Breece Hall had a pretty good game, 10 carries, 127 yards, but the Raiders aren't that same level of team, so I'll still pick Buffalo to beat them. Ravens, Bengals, after the week 1 performance, I don't know. I mean, Ravens will be down J.K. Dobbins, but the Bengals, I don't know, man. I mean, it is only Tuesday, so I have till Sunday to change my mind if I want to, but fuck it. I'll just go Baltimore. I mean, I could change my mind before then. Seahawks, Lions, give me the Lions. Seahawks look terrible. I kind of had a feeling Geno Smith would be a one-year wonder over there. Chargers, Titans. I still think the Chargers have enough talent to beat the Titans. Titans are terrible. Tampa Bay, Chicago. I don't know. Chicago, I don't trust the Bears at all. I'll go Tampa Bay. We'll see. Kansas City, Jacksonville. I think Kansas City will redeem themselves I just get a feeling they'll redeem themselves and get the win. It'll be a good game, but I think Kansas City redeems themselves. Indianapolis, Houston. I still think Indianapolis is the better team. Okay. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. San Francisco with the Rams. I still got the 49ers. 49ers have the Rams number, and you saw how they played against the Steelers. Impressive. Giants, Cardinals. After the way the Giants performed week 1, I don't know, but knowing the Cardinals, I'll take my chances on the Giants redeeming themselves in this one. Jets and Cowboys. I got to go with the Cowboys. They are the better all-around team. Like I said, the Cowboys are a good regular season team. Still think they're going to choke inevitably come playoff time, but they are a good regular season team. And I think going against Zach Wilson, that Jets team, they're going to have a field day. Broncos, Commanders. I'm going to go Washington in this one. I'll take them in the upset. And New England, Miami. Give me Miami in that one. They're coming into this matchup healthy. The Saints and Panthers, give me New Orleans. Why not? I mean, I still think Panthers have a long way to go. Browns and Steelers Monday night. I still got to go Cleveland. I think they're the better all-around team. I think this is going to be a relatively low-scoring game. I'll go 38 total points. I think that's going to be a low-scoring game right there. So there's my week 2 picks as of now. I mean, I could still obviously change some of my predictions going forward, between now and Sunday for the Sunday games. But hey, that's my picks for now. And to everyone that tuned in, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode 14 of Sports Talk from the Heart. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe to both the Hardcore Sports Network and my channel. I'll put the links to both in the chat. First, I'll start with the link to my channel. There's the link. There it is. There's the link to my channel. You can sub me up if you haven't done so already. And here's the link to the Hardcore Sports Network. And you guys can sub that up right there if you haven't done so. So make sure to sub up both channels. And most of all, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. And until next time, Nicky Steez signing off.